Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Code Learners, Helplines for Software Development. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can integrate reCAPTCHA in Django framework. The first thing is here I'm in the documentation of reCAPTCHA, and here at the end you can see to enable reCAPTCHA you need to have API key. So I'll click this particular link. I have already logged into my account, so it will take me to a registration page of creating a CAPTCHA. So here I'll just write a label, and here you have two options like version 3 or version 2. I'll go for the latest version, and here you want the domain which the CAPTCHA needs to be enabled. So we are using the testing domain, so that's why I'm just going to use the local host URL. You can add additional URL also here. At the bottom you see the Gmail ID of the owner. You can add multiple of that, and here you can see the accept terms and service. Just accept it and click on submit. Here you can see that you have found two keys here. One is for the front end HTML code, and one is for backend server side integration. Just copy this, and here I'm in my Django app. I'll open my settings.py file. Here I will create a dictionary. So client secret. So client secret will be here, and I will also add server side secret, client side and server side. And the next thing what I want is I want the URL. So here you can see, if you go to server side integration, if you click on this, here in the documentation it says you the API request, and you need to send the API post request to this particular URL. So I'll copy this, verify URL. So now I'll start the integration. In my you can see this is already prepared Django project, and here I have an app called Contact Us. So basically I'm taking example of a contact form. So if I open in the website, so here we have a simple contact form here. Now I want to add my CAPTCHA spam protection to this particular form. So there are two ways to add the CAPTCHA. The first one is the easiest way, that is to automatically generate the tokens, and the second way is to programmatically generate the tokens during the situation where you want token to be generated. So I'll show you both the ways, and for that you come to the first tab, and here in the documentation it says that you can use using bind the challenge button. This particular JavaScript need to be added. I'll copy this, and here in my HTML file I will add this at the top. And the next thing what we want is we want the script tag. So I'll give a name to this. The ID for this is so this particular method will be automatically invoked. For this you need to do one more the task is to instead of adding submit button, just copy this. So I'll comment the submit button for now, and here you need to specify an additional thing, that is the reCAPTCHA site key. So reCAPTCHA site key we will pass through the views, and here is the callback function that will be executed on when you click on this particular button. And don't try to change this particular class, let it be as it is. And here what I'll do, I'll add a CAPTCHA now. So for that I'll go to views, and I have already imported as settings here, so I'm going to use that. So we need to copy this. So I will add this to save method also, so that we can reuse if there is a validation error. And here in the form you can add this. You have to add a client side secret here. So now what I'll do is I'll just refresh the page. and you can see that the right side at the bottom the captcha appears. If the captcha appears, which means that in the front end integration has been successfully done. So now the only thing which is related is now when I click on this, the token, the data, the response, the token is created, and I need to do an API call from the server side to verify whether this particular response is correct or not. So for that, I'll go to my backend in the views. If I just stop this, and I'll print the response, print request post. So here I have submitted, and if I go back to my particular view, I forgot to save this. And now if I refresh, here you have to see the captcha response. So this is the whole thing. This is the captcha response which you have received. So here to do API call, I will import a library called requests. So this will basically used to do CURL request. Here I will just add the payload, that is the post data. The first is the secret. So this is basically the secret related to the server side. So copy this and add it here. So the next thing what you want is you need to send the response, and in this the response is the token we have received from the front end, and here you can see the response. Let me type it for you. So now we need to send it to the URL. So this is the response request dot post, and here will be the post URL. So we have already specified the post URL in our settings.py file. This is the verify URL. So just use this. And the second one is you need to pass data, and here you need to pass your payload, that is in this case it is query. So you will receive your response JSON in response dot by calling JSON method. So this will give you a response, and I will just display the response in the browser. So, but the thing is, it has been, but here there are some error codes. The error codes is basically there have been some issue here. That's why it is showing error codes. Now for this thing, you can go to, you can log in the print to see what are the error codes are. So basically, the thing about the reCAPTCHA is that you can only use the token once, and once it is validated, then you cannot use it in the second time. So that's the one thing you need to remember. So you can't pass the same token every time. So here I'll do form submission again, and here if I go back, you can see a JSON data here. It shows success 2, and it shows the time and also the host name, and here is the score and the action. The main thing here are the success and the action, the score. The success is whether the token is valid or not, and the score represents whether what are the behavior of the user, is it appropriate or not. If the score is 0, then it is likely to be a bot, and the maximum score is from 0 to 1, and if it is 0.9, then it is a human, that is human interaction. So based on the interaction, it gives you score. Now I'll show you the second way how you can do that. For that, I'll create another form. and here I need to do some changes. The second way, there is a different way. Here we can programmatically invoke when we need to generate the token. So here you need to add an extra render parameter to the captcha. So here the captcha key is here now. So copy this, add it here. The next thing is you need to use this function, and what the function simply does is when the Google reCAPTCHA is ready, it executes the captcha, but you need to pass a side key, the same key which you have passed here. So now what we can do is, here I will create an input field, and give it a name as g.read. Create an ID with the same name. So currently this will be hidden, and when this particular thing is submitted, I want to I'll get the token and save the token. And then I will submit the form. So here the form ID is so now we have added our logic here. From backend we need to get the same response because I haven't changed the input field name of this thing. So I'll save this. I'll go back and try to submit a form once again. And here you have seen that we have received an invalid response. So we need to check what is the response now. This particular method was not triggered, so I will just rename this method to, and here just remove this. We don't need for this for now for this particular example. The challenge has been success. The particular captcha response is successful. So here on the conditional basis you can decide to allow the user or not to allow the user. But what I think is, if you want, the best way to use it to create a validator for this particular captcha. So what I'm going to do is, in the form field I am going to create a validator for that. So I'm going to, the first thing what I'll do is I'm going to start with creating a field, and the name field is reCAPTCHA token, and basically it is a text area field. Here we need to add a validator here, and here we need to, before that we need to do is, this is required, so it is a mandatory field, and we need to add validators. So I need to create a validator for that. I need to custom code the validator, so I will rename as you can create the function here. So I will be importing the same logic from here. first thing I need to import the library request, and the second thing I need to pass the payload and also be able to receive JSON. So settings and configuration is in my settings.py file, so I need to import that also. And here I need to change this to value, and I'll get the response from here, and based on the response I need to, if the response is false, I will raise a validation error. ReCAPTCHA error. And if you want to specify what is the error is, you can add here error string. So here you find all your errors in a key returned as error codes. So this will be returned as a key in this response_JSON. So here I will just make it as I'll join this as a string and pass it. So now, so here we have specified the validator and done. And now I go to the views.py file. We don't need all these things here. Okay, so a simple is valid will do all the job for us. And here if all the captcha and all the other fields are valid, it will show all fields are correct, or else it will again show you the form and display you the error. So here what I'll do is I'll go back, refresh, and now I'll try to fill a proper response. And here it is saying some issue, there is a field is required. So one change I need to do is I need to come back here. I have to add the form. So I'll come. I forgot to add this. But I need to add it as a hidden field, so it won't be able to display. And the second thing I need to do is here I need to change this also, but here by name. So this will have a collection. I want the first one. Click on save. So here you can see it shows all fields are correct, means the validation is correct now. So now what I'll do is I'll refresh again and try to add some dummy value validator. So here instead of token value, I'll just append a token with some extra data. Just to test whether it is working properly or not. And now I'll send this. So here what I need, I forgot I think is I need to raise the exception instead of returning it, and we'll try to submit again. And here you can see that the invalid response, because it was not correct response, I have added some to test it. I have added some invalid characters here, so that is why it is showing invalid response. If I save this and try to send again, so now it works. So this was all about protecting your site. So if you like my video, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.